And now with proper back support. Hello everybody, my name is David, also known as Rev, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last episode, we finally manufactured enough of the warding scales to be able to send it off to the Far East and Eorzea. Now we need to basically figure out a plan as to what exactly is going to be our plan of attack. Do we assault Garlemald directly, or do we go on ahead and just take out the towers? Personally, I'm of the mind that we should take out the towers, but we will see how this all unfolds. Now, we were told to meet in the Baldestian Annex with the supplies while we convey all the information. It's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labor safely in storage. For now, we have to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should probably get some rest in the meantime.
Take heart and protect them well.
The shadows don't do kind to my poor character's face.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
I'm sorry. It just makes me so happy that they brought food. You know, we finally got. I think that's something that I've loved about Shadowbringers as well, is the fact that we could actually like. That we could finally, you know, take a proper break. Of course, Alphino's over there just drinking tea.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Sharlayan cuisine is not to his liking.
That's fair. Did you say that all the stuff here is like bland?
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Sharlayan feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
Okay, girl. We love a girl boss.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Quile, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it?
Something like that.
Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans.
We'll take it one step at a time.
But
Baby
even
steps.
within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won, perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
Night after night.
Hey, that's mine.
Didn't even finish
To
your
the
burger
swift the
yet.
spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
It's possible.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume.
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
He's such a dork. But I enjoy him nonetheless. But if it wasn't for his snooping around, we wouldn't have made it, so.
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh my god. Poor baby. There it is again, the moon. Shall we call it a night?
One last cup of tea, then. Dickens said this brew helps relax the mind before bed. And gave us some leaves for free.
Sounds good to me. Oh, it's green. Oh, hello. How are you doing?
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled. And I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, Talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
Coochie. I'm so sorry.
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn, burn, let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
Maybe both?
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth, much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
I think the thing that, like, intrigues me is that I feel like most of this Final Day stuff just kind of is up to, like, 85, it feels like. And then after that, like, what happens? On Wings of Hope. Oh no, now I have the song stuck in my head. On wings of hope, you ride up through the night higher. Yeah, that part. The part that I was using for like the outro for like the first like portion. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I want to try and speak with Scholar Monishe and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he could come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Dathniar. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the mud from it with his 4 students. Since we're still waiting for your soul and the others, I thought now would be the perfect time to pay him a visit. There, join me. Then it's settled. The toys will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'd let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face out around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. So I've been looking at the clock like throughout the cutscene and stuff like a maniac because I decided to record one more episode before maintenance. But we're about halfway through. Heading out for a stroll? The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people, worried about his reputation. And at our alma mater, no less. Well, wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. All right, so let's go ahead and head over to the studium. I'll meet you guys there. Here it is, Phenomenon. Well, I expect you to make note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of the world would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of aetheriological phenomena, hence the name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world of leading authority in aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. You did always enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he had recited the same foppish speech, such as his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then. Youngest to enter the studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. And I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. I see what they did there. And in all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this is where the legend of Alphino Levlier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for the scholar. Other faculty tend to frequent their officers, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask students if you've seen him. Well, we have our little mini objective right here. I don't know why it turned me the heck around. Are you lost? Wandering off the streets, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start off with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pisa this, tongue of Giganto that, it's enough to make your hands stare on it. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being the School of Magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in is gleaning is information on the scholar's whereabouts. I could have actually went with either one there, both of them worked. I beg your pudding? You're not a gleaner? Then was an all elaborate ruse? No way. Come to think of it, you never claimed to be one in the first place, my mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of stuff. Home to many different things. If you lose your way, just follow the screams. All right. Thank you for sufficiently, what feels like wasting my time. To put it nicely. Here's hoping that we have our good old guy over here. All right, here's our level-headed student. All All right, looks like we're just okay. I'm using my context clues, so it says that the quest is gonna be done here in a moment. So I'm gonna go on ahead and talk to Mr. Scholar. All we really know is that he's in this area. I'm guessing that. Yep, I'm guessing that he's in here.
I remember you.
Why is his voice echoey? I guess it's because the room's empty, huh?
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting.
Louisoix.
But it seems
Goodness.
I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
I can just bop up moths by the head. I'm bigger than them, you know.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Is there a spell cast on you?
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
That's
How is
impressive.
that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
All right. Consider me seated. Oh no, I was gonna say we're gonna actually sit here and learn. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm ready. I'm an okay student.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
I'm gonna go on ahead and say corporal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked.
Okay.
Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Okay.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Bad things.
It would blot out everything that was written.
I see.
Precisely.
Kind of.
We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
So would everybody's memory be blocked out of the final days then?
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act.
So maybe the key is maybe figuring that little bit
The
out,
enchantment
right?
which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
But isn't it kind of indirectly manipulating
I should
populace by
hope
not letting
not.
them know?
But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty.
And if we brute
Barring
force it, we
that,
might scramble him more,
We must
right?
wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose.
So it's like if the paper got ripped up. Or that.
But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
Yes, do tell, because
We
I'm
are
running out of time
reduced
here,
to pure
man.
ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Makes sense.
Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought, or rather,
an entire banquet.
I felt like my poor vendor over there was just kind of looking like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. He said, wake up, buddy.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you.
Okay.
I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh,
that makes
and
sense.
I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Thank you. I'm just gonna call you Monty. Wait, why he laugh like that? That's an evil laugh. I say most old man laughs are evil laughs. Don't trust them. Bless them. I think that because of our current phenomenon of maintenance going down for the game for patch 6.01 is about to take place in 9 minutes, I think this is probably a good time to end it. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, and next time we're gonna be figuring out what to do with basically all the information that we just got about, you know, Aether and basically how his enchantment spell worked. So thank you guys also very much for watching, and I will see all of you guys in the next one.